So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the recent resignation of the Vice President of India, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar. I hope you must have seen this news about the resignation of the current Vice President. And but I mean, I'm sure you must have read. So you might have read newspapers about his resignation. But in this class, we will be focusing more on academic point of view, the way questions will be asked for CLAT exam. Okay, I will show you the PYQs also, because when the vice president or president election was there, even in the year 2022, the CLAT 2023 asked many questions related with that. So that type of questions I will discuss today also. Okay, so that you can get an idea that yes, if they will try to ask again from the same topic, which type of questions can be asked. So that is why we will be discussing that also in today's class. Okay, so am I audible, visible? Is everything fine? If yes, then please write yes in the comments. Okay, fine. So I think the slide is visible. Let us begin. And I think this is very, very important class. ये वाला एकदम very, very important के category में. Okay. Chalo, so let us begin. I hope you have seen these news coming in. Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar resigns as Vice President of India. What are the retirement benefits? So these things we will discuss it in today's class. Okay. So first of all, let me show this is actually the resignation letter 21/7. It means 21st July 2025. I'm giving you the date also because sometimes dates are also being asked. So 21st July 2025. Okay. How can you remember? 21st June is which date? International Yoga Day. So just 1 month later on 21st July. So 1 month after International Yoga Day. This is how you can remember it. Okay. So now I'll explain it. I will discuss this, the resignation also. Some of the points are very important in this resignation letter, which I will discuss in this class. Okay. So let us begin with the first question. The first question says the Vice President of India resigned in accordance with Article 67 Clause A, 75 Clause 3, 124 or Article 72. What is the right answer to this question? Bataiye. Yes, Krishi Sasdeva, Hari, Ajinkya. Very good. Chandralekha, you all right. The right answer is option A. Article 67, Clause A is the right answer to this question. So 124 talks about Supreme Court, right? Judges of Supreme Court appointment. 72 talk about President's pardon power, right? Pardoning and reducing the sentence. Okay, by the way, what is Article 75, Clause 3 talks about? Anyone? Just I'm asking. If anyone can answer, I'll be very happy to know. What does 75 Clause 3 talks about? It tells you the definition of the parliamentary form of government or cabinet form of government. Go and find out. This I have given you as a hint, but find out. Maybe I will ask in some exam, in some other video. 75 Clause 3. Okay. So here we are concerned about Article 67 Clause A. So A is the right answer to this question. Now, the next question is the Vice President of India sends his or her resignation to. So if a Vice President is supposed to resign, he or she will address to whom? किसको इस्तीफा भेजेंगे? Deputy Chairman of Council of States. Council of State means Rajya Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha, Chief Justice of India, President of India. What is the right answer? I am expecting everyone to answer, please. Yes, Ajinkya Patil, Krishi Sasdeva. Very good. You're both right. President of India is the right answer. D is the right answer. Yes, Chandralekha, you all are right. So, Vice President of India sends his resignation to President of India. Yes, Hari. Very good. You all are right. And yes, you can see this is actually the resignation letter. अगर आप ऊपर वाला हिस्सा पढ़ोगे, so it talks about it. चलो उससे पहले ये चीज जानते हैं. What is this which I am highlighting? I have seen sometimes question from here also, especially in government, standard government exam, they ask question. That is why I'm asking. जिस चीज को मैंने highlight किया वो क्या है? What is that called? Vice President appointed. No, Vice President is elected. And this election procedure, we will discuss it in today's class. Okay. National emblem. Very good. Huh? So national emblem. Okay. Now, from where it has been taken? From where this has been taken? और ये दो हिस्सा में है. So this one is part 1. And नीचे वाला is part 2. So that part 1 is a part of Sarnath land capital, है ना? Of Ashoka. Ashoka's land capital, whatever you can say. Ashoka. You will find it in Sarnath in Banaras. The second part says, actually clear नहीं लिखा है, but उसमें लिखा Satyamev Jayate. In it is written Satyamev Jayate. In Devanagari script, means जो हिंदी का script होता है, Satyamev Jayate. Not in English Roman script, but in Hindi or I would say Devanagari script. This has been taken from which religious literature? ये पूछते हैं एग्जाम में. मुंडक उपनिषद. This is the favorite question of government exams. ठीक है. And I hope you are aware these are copied in the CLAT exam specifically. Yes, Krishi Sasdeva, we will come to that. In this class, we will discuss the election of vice president. Okay, nothing to worry. Okay, so this you should be knowing that Satyamev Jayate has been originally taken from Mundak Upanishad. Okay, okay. So now the vice president is writing his resignation letter. क्या लिख रहे हैं? Respected Rashtrapati ji, to prioritize my health care and abide by my medical advice, I hereby resign as the vice president of India immediately in accordance with 67 clause A. So this is article 67 clause A he is writing. Okay. So what is 67 clause A? Vice president by writing under his hand addressed to the president resign his office. Right. This is what you should know. The second one is talking about removal of vice president, which is done by the Raj Sabha, etc., and approved by the House of the People, that is Lok Sabha also. These are the things you should be knowing. So, abhi removal process, I think they will not ask because abhi to hum log resignation par we are talking about. And I extend my deepest gratitude to Your Excellency, the Honorable President of India, for wavering, unwavering support, etc. ठीक है. So ये सब उन्होंने लिखा है. Okay, now I have one more question. अब हम लोग बात करें, we are talking about a vice president resigning. So if vice president resigns, he will send his resignation. He or she will send the resignation to president. Imagine president wants to resign. What will he or she do? अगर president का मन कर रहा है कि हमको resign कर देना चाहिए, तो वो कहाँ भेजेंगे फिर resignation letter? If president of India sends his resignation to, देखते हैं कितने लोग आंसर कर पाते हैं. I haven't got the right answer yet. Waiting for the correct answer. So it's interesting है ना, because vice president आप logic भी लगा सकते हो. अच्छा हाँ, vice president तो president को resign करके ऑफ भेजेंगे. बट भाई अगर प्रेसिडेंट को रिजाइन करना हो तो कहां रेजिग्नेशन भेजेंगे? वेयर विल ही और शी सेंड द रेजिग्नेशन? इंटरेस्टिंग है ना? यस चंद्रलेखा, नाउ यू आर राइट, बट व्हाई आर पुटिंग क्वेश्चन मार्क? पीपल आर सेइंग बी देन नहीं. The right answer is vice president. D is the right answer. आप देख सकते हो आर्टिकल 56 says the president may by writing under his hand addressed to the vice president resign his office. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing. Now somebody will ask questions, sir, if the vice president is not available, then I'm not sure what is the solution. I haven't found any other logic, but that is the answer. ठीक है. इसमें एक चीज बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग ये हो गई. I'll tell you that a vice president sends the resignation letter to president and president sends resignation तो आपस में एक दूसरे को resignation letter भेजेंगे. ठीक है. That is what it's quite interesting, but you should know it. D is the right answer. Fine. Okay. Now let's talk about it. तो ये इनके resignation letter थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेते हैं. ये तो हम लोगों ने discuss कर लिया. So first is 67 clause A. This can be asked. This is important. Then he talks about I express deep gratitude to Honorable Prime Minister, esteemed Council of Ministers, etc. इसमें I am thankful for invaluable experience I have gained as a Vice President, and it was a given privilege satisfaction. इसमें कोई ऐसी चीज मैं देख रहा हूँ, कोई important चीज नहीं है. As I leave this esteemed office, I am filled with pride, Bharat's global rise, etc. So that is what he has said, and he was addressing it to the president, है ना. So basically इसमें जो सबसे important चीज थी वो एक ये जानना था, and ये जानना था. And yes, of course, this one, that the Vice President addressed this to the President of India, the resignation. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Who is the ex officio chairman of Council of States? When was he supposed to retire? 2027 August. He became, August 2022, he became the Vice President. So August 2027, 5 years, he was supposed to retire. But in July 2025, he resigned. Hardly in 3 years. 3 years and 1 month less. So you can say 2 years, 11 months roughly. Okay, so ex-officio chairman of Council of States is option C, Vice President of India. Okay. Council of States is Rajya Sabha, yes. Can anyone tell me? I read a few months back, I read a very interesting article on the Hindu newspaper in editorial, and someone was writing about it. Someone was saying there is something which is not gender neutral here. Can anyone tell me? Here on this slide, something is not gender neutral. And this I saw actually on in an editorial written by someone in the Hindu newspaper. So, bata sakta, what is that? Article 89 says this: the Vice President of India shall be ex officio chairman of Council of States. So they do not write Rajya Sabha. Yes, chairman, very good. Instead of Council of States, instead of Rajya Sabha, they write Council of States. उन्होंने लिखा क्या था एडिटोरियल में, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग था, and it was a new thing for me. He said कि why have you written chairman? It should have been written chairperson, because chairperson means it can be a male or a female. But when you are writing chairman, you are just referring that it can be male only, right? And it was quite interesting. And I said, "Oh, nice." I mean, this is the official statement of Constitution. So technically, the word chairman should not have been used. Rather, chairperson should have been used to ensure gender neutrality. Understood? We have fine. I mean, I'm not saying it is not understood, but it is more ideal to use the word chairperson. Okay. जैसे एक डिबेट ये भी हुआ था कि if the president is a female, should we write राष्ट्रपति or something else? तो इस पर भी काफी डिबेट चला था 2-3 साल पहले. So sometimes these types of debates do happen. तो हाँ, तो मेरे को दिख गया, तो मैंने बस बता दिया. I read this argument in the Hindu editorial few months back. Okay. So what is I'm sure you must be aware, this is the green ones are Lok Sabha, and this is presiding officer, and the presiding officer is called as a Speaker of Lok Sabha. Yes. This is Rajya Sabha. Here the presiding officer sits. The presiding officer is called as Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Yes, here Mr. Om Birla ji is the Lok Sabha Speaker, and he has just resigned, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar. So Chairman of Rajya Sabha is by default the Vice President, है ना? I mean, Vice President by default like becomes the Chairman of Rajya Sabha, and if he is not there, then Deputy Chairman sits. Similarly, here Deputy Speaker sits, but there is no Deputy Speaker. For many years, we have not seen any Deputy Speaker. But generally speaking, Deputy Speaker is there in Lok Sabha, which is by convention from opposition. Similarly, Chairman of Rajya Sabha is the Vice President, and there is a Deputy Chairman also. Okay, can you not tell me who is the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha? Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha कौन है? Narayan कुछ करके नाम है, even I am forgetting. From Bihar, I think Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Harivansh Narayan ये कुछ. हाँ, Harivansh Narayan Singh. Yes. Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha is Harivansh Narayan Singh. Yes, Chandra Lekha. Since Vice President has resigned, whenever there will be a preside, who will be the presiding officer, the deputy chairman will sit because he has resigned. ठीक है. And यहाँ पे deputy speaker होते हैं, but deputy speaker election has not been done. चश्मा लगाते हैं, हाँ चश्मा लगाते हैं, right? हाँ. Yes. Let's move on. Yes. What is Article 67 Clause A of Indian Constitution invoked by Vice President? ये पूछा जा सकता है because it is very much in the news. ठीक है. Okay, so and Ministry of Home Affairs have means the President has accepted the resignation and it has been notified in the Gazette of India, because notification is the most important thing. That is what you should know. ठीक है. So resignation, removal, death से vacancy हो सकती है ना. 67A talks about resignation. Okay, he's also the chairman of Rajya Sabha. है ना. Of course, this provision does not require parliamentary approval because he himself has resigned. So otherwise, if you want to remove the vice president, then of course you need effective majority in Rajya Sabha and simple majority in Lok Sabha. That is under 67 Clause B. Okay. You know, the majority required in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha is not same when it comes to removing the vice president. Here you need effective majority. We call this term. And here you need simple majority. उसमें थोड़ा सा फर्क होता है. I'm not going in that detail. If you need to pass through both Rajya Sabha effective majority, Lok Sabha simple majority, then not absolute majority. Rajya Sabha में absolute majority नहीं चाहिए होते, उसके effective majority कहते हैं. ठीक है. बता देता हूँ थोड़ा सा. कहाँ चला गया 67B? This one. Okay, if you want to remove it by Council of States, majority of the then members, इसको कहते हैं effective majority. तो इसमें फर्क क्या होता है? इसमें इसलिए होता है कि जो डेथ, रिमूवल और डिसमिसल है वो सिर्फ एमपीज को रिमूव करके फिर मेजॉरिटी चेक किया जाता है. ठीक है. एंड अग्रीड बाय हाउस ऑफ द पीपल, मतलब अग्रीड बाय लोकसभा मतलब सिंपल मेजॉरिटी से. ठीक है. बट दिस इज नॉट एब्सोल्यूट मेजॉरिटी. दिस इज सिमिलर टू सिंपल मेजॉरिटी बट उसमें थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस होता है. ठीक है. ओके फाइन. वी आर डन विद दिस. That is what we are talking about. Election Commission is supposed to conduct the election under President and Vice President Election Act 1952. But temporarily, who will be the deputy chairman will act as the chairman because, of course, the Vice President has resigned. Okay. This is a very interesting question and this is a PYQ. So 2022 Vice President election happened. August 2022 May. Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar became the Vice President, and December 2022 CLAT 2023 asked the same question. हो सकता है option अलग हो. This is a CLAT 2023 question. The options were different, but this was the question. यही पूछेंगे कि अच्छा जब जगदीप धनखड़ साहब जीते थे तो किसको हरा के जीते थे? Let me see how many of you can answer. यही पूछेंगे. This type of question is asked in the exam, real exam. आप बोलते हो सर इतना डिफिकल्ट आ गया, समझ में नहीं आया, कैसे हो गया? But you have to go in detail. You have to work hard, of course. If you want to create a difference between you and another people, अगर आप चाहते हो कि बाकी से अलग खड़े हो तो ऐसे ही पढ़ना होगा. Yes, Ajinkya Patil, very good. But why have you changed your stand? Earlier you were right. Now you have changed the stand to D. The right answer is B. Margaret Alba. यशवंत सिन्हा साहब प्रेसिडेंट कैंडिडेट थे. प्रेसिडेंट कैंडिडेट अगेंस्ट द्रौपदी मुर्मू व्हेन द प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन हैपेंड समवेयर इन जून 2022. सो हियर बी इज द राइट आंसर. आप देखो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन 2022, मिस्टर जगदीप धनखड़ सपोर्टेड बाय बीजेपी, मार्गरेट अल्वा सपोर्टेड बाय इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस. ठीक है, ये याद रखना है. सिमिलरली इलेक्शन हुआ था जुलाई में. हाँ, ये अगस्त में इलेक्शन हुआ था, अगस्त 2022. 1 month before, July 2022, president election happened. Draupadi Murmu from BJP, supported by BJP. यशवंत सिन्हा supported by the other parties. ठीक है, याद रखिएगा, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ये क्वेश्चन. यही पूछेंगे, यही देखना. This type of question will be asked. इसी तरह का घुमा फिर आगे पूछते हैं. Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar is the dash vice president to resign from his post. First, second, third, fourth. क्या होगा? Yes, Krishi Sachdeva, Chinmay, user. You all right? Yes, Hari. Third vice president to resign. But जो दोनों बाकी तो रहते, first and second जो resign किए थे, they resigned for fighting election for president. Okay, इन्होंने जो resign किया, he has resigned for health reason. This is for the first time that he is resigning not to fight a president election. Okay, so B is the right answer. Becomes third president to resign. Okay, after VV Giri and R Venkatraman, because these two later became president of India. Okay, yes, VV Giri stepped down to fight election. Similarly, R Venkatraman also resigned to fight election for president. अब देख सकते हैं became third president to resign before the end of the term. However, the other two has been transitioned to president. They both became president, है ना? लेकिन इन्होंने तो ऐसे ही बीच में resign कर दिया. There is no scope for fighting election. Yes, right. हाँ. Before becoming Vice President of India, in August 2022, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar was the governor of. इस तरह क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है 2023 क्लैट में. The question was कि द्रौपदी मुर्मू when she became the president, before that she had served as the governor of its state. ये भी मैंने पढ़ा रखा था उस टाइम पर. ये बताइएगा, ये PYQ है. द्रौपदी मुर्मू had earlier served as the governor of its state. This question was asked, so this can be asked about Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar. पहले इनका आंसर करो. जगदीप धनकर साहब का. Very famous. होम स्टेट इज राजस्थान. तो होम स्टेट का तो चांस ऐसे भी कम होता है. ठीक है. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, आई होप यू आर अवेयर ऑफ दिस, that if someone belongs to the home state, chances of becoming the governor of that state is very less, because there are a lot of recommendation of Sarkaria Commission and many other Bunchi Commission, and they have said that the governor should be from outside the state. So in general, the practice is, it's a convention that the person who becomes a governor is not from that state. आपने देखा होगा, गौर किया होगा कि जो उनका होम स्टेट होता है वहां के गवर्नर नहीं बनाए जाते हैं. आपने ऑब्जर्व किया कभी? क्या इसका आंसर बताइए. ऐसा क्यों? न्यूट्रलिटी के लिए. These are the recommendation from सरकारिया कमीशन एंड पंची कमीशन. ये बाइंडिंग नहीं है, बट एडवाइस है जिसको कन्वेंशन प्रैक्टिस किया जाता है. बिकॉज मतलब इंश्योर करने के लिए न्यूट्रलिटी हो, तो दैट इज द आइडिया बिहाइंड दिस. अभी तक हमको आंसर नहीं मिला, और यही क्वेश्चन, इस तरह क्वेश्चन आते हैं एग्जाम में. आप देखोगे बहुत सारे चांसेस क्वेश्चन पूछ देंगे. वेस्ट बंगाल. So when he was the governor, he had tussle with the chief minister of Bengal also, है ना? So D is the right answer. तो कई बार the fiction we had seen, अगर आप न्यूज फॉलो कर रहे होगे तो, before his tenure as vice president, Mr. Dhankar has served as governor of West Bengal from 2019 to 22. Year भी पूछ सकते हैं. Please remember it. Please remember it. This is very very important. Okay. Let's move on. ये वाली आज की क्लास बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, if you will realize it. अब आप देखो, ये क्वेश्चन है 2023 क्लैट का. So in this year, देखो मैं बता देता हूँ, पहले आपको कॉन्टेक्स्ट समझो. This exam happened in, as far as I could remember, 18 December 2022. Okay, exam date है. जुलाई 2022 president election happens. August 2022 vice president election happens. अब इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में क्वेश्चन आया. अब आप पांचों का आंसर कर दोगे, आई बी वेरी हैप्पी टू नो. चलो हो सकता है देखो तो भी कर लोगे, तब मैं 9th पे था. फाइन, बट स्टिल यू कैन आंसर, ट्राई टू आंसर इट. आप सारा क्वेश्चन का आंसर कीजिए. देखो मैं आपको हेल्प कर दूंगा आंसर कराने में. अच्छा, अभी आप छोड़ दो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 31 कैसे आंसर करोगे? हाउ विल यू आंसर क्वेश्चन नंबर 31? यू आर सिटिंग इन द एग्जाम हॉल. प्लीज टेल मी हाउ विल यू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. आप एकदम सीरियसली, प्लीज थिंक इट सीरियसली. यू आर सिटिंग इन एग्जाम हॉल. प्लीज डू नॉट सर्च गूगल. प्लीज सर्च मत कीजिएगा. मैं आपको बता रहा हूं कि कैसे एग्जाम में हैंडल करना है क्वेश्चन. नहीं, प्लीज, मैं 50 लाइन यूज करना चाहता हूं. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड इट, दिस इज अ सीरियस थिंग, है ना? तो आप कैसे अप्लाई द कॉमन सेंस टू एलिमिनेट ऑप्शंस. कैसे ऑप्शन ये पूछ रहे कि द्रौपदी मुर्मू बिकेम द सेकंड फीमेल प्रेसिडेंट आफ्टर प्रतिभा पाटिल. सो प्रतिभा पाटिल प्रेसिडेंट कब रही थी, ये पूछा जा रहा है. देखो मैं कैसे बताऊंगा. द्रौपदी मुर्मू कब प्रेसिडेंट बनी? 2022 में, जुलाई 2022, राइट? उस टाइम पे एग्जाम में था. इसका मतलब है कि इससे पहले वाला टेन्योर कब होगा? 2017 से 2022, ये 5 इयर्स का टेन्योर होगा. उससे पहले वाला रहा होगा 2012 से 2017. उससे पहले वाला रहा होगा 2007 से 2012. यस, ऐसे ही चलेगा ना. अब गौर से देखो, अब इस पैटर्न को कौन नहीं फॉलो कर रहा है? ये वाला पैटर्न फॉलो हो रहा है, ये फॉलो नहीं हो रहा है. 2012 से 17 ये फॉलो हो रहा है, 6 से 11 ये नहीं फॉलो हो रहा है. यू आर लेफ्ट विथ ऑप्शन ए एंड ऑप्शन सी. आई हैव टोल्ड यू ऐसे करना होता है. एटलीस्ट यू हैव रीच्ड 50-50, जो आप बोल रहे थे ना कि हमको 50-50 लाइफलाइन यूज करना है, सो यू कैन यूज द लाइफलाइन इवन इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल विद द हेल्प ऑफ कॉमन सेंस. यही मैं बताना चाह रहा था. दिस विल बी हेल्पफुल इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल, राइट? अब आपका 50-50 हो गया. मान लो आपको नहीं भी पता है, if you do not know it and you mark the tukka or guess, chances of getting correct is very high. Okay, ठीक है. तो आंसर इसको 2007 से 12 है ना. So the right answer is A. Please apply this type of thing. Be attentive in the examination hall. You won't believe 4-5 क्वेश्चन से फ्री में सही होंगे. ठीक है. That's why I'm telling you. President Murmu earlier served as governor of, उस टाइम पर I think she had served as governor of Jharkhand if I'm not wrong. हाँ. So C is the right answer. फर्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन कब हुआ था? बताइए, ये बताइए. बताइए, फर्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन कब हुआ था? वो तो हो गया. हाँ, 1952. फर्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, सब लोकसभा उपसभा सबका इलेक्शन 52 में हुआ था. आई थिंक राज्यसभा का भी. First, if I'm not wrong, first Lok Sabha election also. Election. Yes, 52, सब 52 में हुआ था. हाँ, लोकसभा, राज्यसभा, सब everything happened in 1952. Vice President election also. ये बताओ, ये मैंने कई बार बताया है. 34. Please tell me question number 34 answer. Before the capital was shifted from Calcutta or Kolkata to Delhi, in Kolkata, where was the Governor General used to sit? दिल्ली में तो राष्ट्रपति भवन में सिट करते थे वाइस रॉय, द ब्रिटिश वाइस रॉयज. टुडे इट इज कॉल्ड एज राष्ट्रपति भवन. अर्लियर इट वाज वाइसरॉयज लॉज और वाइसरॉयज बिल्डिंग. आई हैव डिस्कस सो मेनी टाइम्स. रायसीना पैलेस दिल्ली में है सर. Where did the Governor General reside before the transfer of British capital to Delhi? मतलब ये पूछना चाह रहे, they are referring to कोलकाता और कैलकाटा. So रायसीना हिल तो होगा नहीं. I have discussed it. Belvedere House inside the National Library of Kolkata, very near to Alipur Zoo. If you are from Kolkata, you must be aware of this. We have discussed so many times. जो संडे को एमपीएम वाली क्लास होती है उसमें मैंने कई बार डिस्कस कराया. Home the Funny was a candidate in the election for vice president in 2022. ये भी अभी मैंने बताया. मार्गरेट हलवा. यशवंत सिन्हा was the president candidate. ठीक है. So these are ये पूछ सकते हैं दोबारा. This is the right answer. Okay, fair. Now let's talk about Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar. This is very very important. ये Wikipedia page से question आने का chance है. Please be careful. Today's topic is very important. Trust me. So he's a politician. He's a lawyer by profession. Served as vice president. Okay, कब से कब तक रहे वाइस प्रेसिडेंट? 11th August 2022 to 21st July 2025. This is his tenure. 14th vice president, ये भी पूछ सकते हैं. 14th vice president. ठीक है. Before that, he has served as governor of Bengal from 2019 to July 2022. This is very important. Okay. Now, अगर ये हो गया. He has earlier served as Union Minister of State. MOS कहते हैं ना. कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर के बिलो एक रैंक होता है. MOS. For Parliamentary Affairs. When Chandrasekhar was the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Chandrasekhar, from 1990 to 91. He has served as MP, Member of Parliament from 1989 to 91, MLA also in Rajasthan. He was with BJP, Congress, Janata Dal. He had served at different in different political parties. है ना? Born in Jhunjhunu district of Rajasthan. That is what you should be knowing. Okay? ये हो गया. ये मैंने बता दिया. गवर्नर ऑफ बंगाल का टेन्योर है ना. As MLA of Rajasthan 93 से 98, Member of Parliament 1989 से 91, and Union Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs 1971. All these four are very important. You trust they can ask questions from here. Okay, MP 1989 से 91 है ना. राजस्थान से बिलोंग करते हैं. कांग्रेस, बीजेपी, जनता दल में रह चुके हैं. And by profession he is a lawyer. Chandrasekhar was the Prime Minister. ये पूछो ना. He was the Prime Minister in 1991-91. बहुत छोटे शॉर्ट पीरियड के लिए रहते हैं, बट ही वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया, मिस्टर चंद्रशेखर. ओके, तो पहले जनता दल, इंटरनेशनल कांग्रेस, बहुत सारी जगह ये रह चुके हैं. सो व्हाटएवर आई हैव डिस्कस्ड इट, आई थिंक दैट इज मोर देन इनफ. ओके, एज अ बंगाल गवर्नर, दिस आल्सो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. ही वाज अपॉइंटेड बाय रामनाथ कोविंद. मिस्टर रामनाथ कोविंद इज द बंगाल गवर्नर. रिजाइन कर दिया उन्होंने. इनकी सैलरी कहते हैं 2018 बजट के हिसाब से 48 लाख पर एनम. अच्छी खासी सैलरी है. and he will receive the pension accordingly. वो जनता दल वगैरह बनी थी चंद्रशेखर की ना, as far as I could remember, ये जो लिखा ना जनता दल, इसी से शायद बिलोंग करते हैं, but let me check it. चंद्रशेखर belong to which party? उस समय बहुत सारी पार्टी बनी थी जी, समाजवादी जनता पार्टी, अच्छा समाजवादी जनता पार्टी कहते हैं इसको, एक मिनट लेट मी चेक इट. ब्रेकअवे फैक्शन ऑफ जनता दल ही कहते हैं उसको. मतलब एक्चुअली क्या है, जो चंद्रशेखर साहब थे वो जनता दल का एक टूटा हुआ हिस्सा था, उसके पार्ट थे, ऐसे समझ लो, लाइक दैट. ठीक है, अब इतना डिटेल नहीं जाना है, नो नीड टू गो इन दैट डिटेल बिकॉज उसको कभी हम लोग और डिस्कस कर लेंगे. ओके, so that is what you should know. He will receive this much of salary, these are the things as a after the retirement. Fine. Now the next question is, please answer this question. Election Commission of India does not conduct election for. We are important चीज बाकी है आज की क्लास की. म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन, यस, सी इज द राइट आंसर. ठीक है, सो इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया के पास पावर होता है प्रेसिडेंट, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, एमपी और स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर यानी एमएलए एमएलसी का इलेक्शन कंडक्ट कराने में. दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग. यस, चंद्रलेखा एंड अजिंक्य, यू बोथ राइट. सी इज द राइट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. The next is, according to the Constitution of India, the election of Vice President after the resignation of the previous Vice President should be held within 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, as soon as possible. हाँ, इसका जो है स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन कंडक्ट कराती है, राइट, विच इज अ सेपरेट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बॉडी. इसका आंसर बताइए. अगर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ने रिजाइन कर दिया तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में क्या लिखा हुआ है? 6 महीने के अंदर इलेक्शन होना चाहिए, 3 महीने के अंदर, 4 महीने के अंदर, एज सुन एज पॉसिबल. व्हाट इज द टर्म मेंशन्ड? यस यूजर, वेरी गुड. द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी, एज सुन एज पॉसिबल, ये लिखा हुआ है. ठीक है, यस चंद्रलेखा, यू आर राइट. हाँ, आर्टिकल 68 पढ़ोगे to fill a vacancy due to death, resignation, removal as soon as possible. Okay, but if you talk about vice president के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, but if you talk about president, it says as soon as possible in the case not less than 6 months. यानी प्रेसिडेंट में टाइमलाइन मेंशन है कि 6 महीने के अंदर इलेक्शन हो जाना चाहिए. Okay, as soon as possible, but the maximum limit is 6 months. But there is no maximum limit set here for vice president. ठीक है, why? But because the difference. Because vice president के बिना भी कंट्री से काम चल जाएगा. Even if it is not done within 6 months, still the working can happen. But president is very important. So if there is no president in India for let's say 6 months, it is a not very good news. है ना? Of course, we have to conduct election more fast, more immediately. The next is the new vice president after getting elected would serve for. So because the vice president has recently resigned, hardly completing his 3-year tenure. Now the new one will complete the remainder period or full 5-year, or option C says that if a vice president has resigned within 1 year of getting elected, then the new one will get 5 years, otherwise not. What is the answer? क्या होगा आंसर? Yes, full 5 year मिलेगा उनको, यहां से 0 स्टार्ट करके. Yes. User अजिंक्य, कृषि सचदेवा, चंद्रलेखा, you are right. So article 68 says, देखो पढ़ो क्या लिखा हुआ है. As soon as possible, he entitled to hold the office for the full 5-year terms. The new one who has been appointed from the date upon which he enters the office. And जिस दिन उन्होंने oath लिया वहां से पूरा 5 साल चलेगा. ठीक है? Please remember it. This is important. Let's move on to the next one. This is also very important, and this can be asked. Who is the returning officer for the vice president election 2025? Returning officer is the officer who is supposed to conduct the election at that. That officer who is supposed to deal with all the election process there. जैसे जिला में होता है, when the election happens at the district level, there is a subdivision. Generally एक SDM होते हैं, सब डिविजनल ऑफिसर हुआ है, सब डिविजनल मजिस्ट्रेट या DM वगैरह जो है रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर होते हैं. बट प्रेसिडेंट एंड वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के इलेक्शन में कौन होते हैं? इस साल 2025 के रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर कौन है? यस, चंद्रलेखा, कृषि सचदेवा, यू आर राइट. सेक्रेटरी जनरल ऑफ राज्यसभा. either it can be secretary general of Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha and it actually rotates. ठीक है, तो मैं दिखाता हूं इस टाइम भी, देखो आपने देखा होगा, आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव रेड इट. ECI appoints returning officer for vice president. Who is the returning officer? Secretary General Raj Sabha, Mr. PC Modi. And what is his name? Mr. PC Modi is the Secretary General of Raj Sabha. ठीक है, सेक्रेटरी जनरल जो मतलब ऑफिसर हु इज इन चार्ज ऑफ द एंटायर राज्यसभा. ठीक है, ओके. सो गरिमा जैन इज जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी, विजय कुमार इज डायरेक्टर ऑफ राज्यसभा एटसेट्रा एंड मस्ट बी बेस्ड इन दिल्ली. तो आप देख सकते हो सेक्रेटरी जनरल जनरली क्या होता है, बाय कन्वेंशन द रोल रोटेट्स बिटवीन सेक्रेटरी जनरल लोकसभा एंड सेक्रेटरी जनरल राज्यसभा. तो प्रीवियस वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के इलेक्शन में लोकसभा सेक्रेटरी जनरल वाज द रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर. सो दिस ईयर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट राज्यसभा सेक्रेटरी जनरल विल बी द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट. ठीक है, ठीक है. सो ये सब बात है. ठीक है, इसमें और रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर पढ़ लेना. हाँ, नाउ दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग. दिस इज अ PYQ सिमिलर टू दैट. इससे सिमिलर एक PYQ आया था, सिमिलर प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन. वोटिंग इन इंडियन, देखो एक्चुअली PYQ क्या था, इसमें वाइस हटा हुआ था. दिस वाज द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन. सो व्हाट आई हैव डिसाइडेड टू आई हैव मेड वाइस प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन एंड नाउ आंसर इट. वोटिंग इन इंडियन वाइस प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन इज डन थ्रू, तो यही क्वेश्चन था, ये क्वेश्चन था. ठीक है, ये इसमें प्रेसिडेंट लिखा होता है, आई एम आस्किंग अबाउट वाइस प्रेसिडेंट. I'm expecting everyone to answer. Yes. PRSTV, proportional representation, single transferable vote, secret ballot. This is the case for both vice president election and president election. ध्यान दीजिए कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इस पर प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन आया है. ठीक है, और अगर ओपन बैलेट है, PRSTV विद ओपन बैलेट, ये राज्यसभा इलेक्शन इसको कहेंगे. ओके, दिस यू शुड बी नोइंग. ओके, अब और ये वाला जो ऊपर वाला फर्स्ट पास द पोस्ट सिस्टम थ्रू सीक्रेट बैलेट, ये होता है लोकसभा का इलेक्शन, लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली का इलेक्शन, ये यहां से होता है. ठीक है, सो दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग. याद रखना चाहिए ना. देखो ये जो होता है राज्यसभा का इलेक्शन भी वही PRSTV, प्रोपोर्शनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन थ्रू सिंगल ट्रांसफरेबल वोट, सीक्रेट बैलेट फॉर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, and for Indian president election again same thing, through single transferable vote, secret ballot. So B is the right answer. Okay, please remember it, these are important facts. राज्य सभा का इलेक्शन जो होता है, now it is done through open ballot. So इसीलिए मैंने इसमें earlier that was also secret ballot, but now it is राज्य सभा is done through open ballot, so that's why here is open ballot. You have to be very careful. Let's move on to the next one. मैंने इस क्लास में देखो आप, first of all subscribe to the channel, go to the live section, scroll down. इस क्लास में I have discussed about राज्यसभा election being conducted with open ballot. ये मैंने बताया था. Fine. Now this is very important. Again, electoral college for vice president. Who are the voters for vice president election? देखते हैं कितने लोग आंसर कर पाते हैं सही. Let me see how many of you can answer it correctly. सीक्रेट बैलेट में बताना नहीं होता है कि किसको आपने वोट किया. इन सीक्रेट बैलेट द वोटर विल नॉट टेल एनीवन एल्स दैट यू हैव वोटेड टू होम. ओपन बैलेट में देयर इज वन नॉमिनेटेड पर्सन ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल पार्टी वेयर यू कैन गो एंड शो द टू होम यू हैव वोटेड. ठीक है, जैसे जब आप लोकसभा इलेक्शन या लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली के इलेक्शन में जाते हो, तो जब EVM में जाके वोट करते हो, पूरा कवर्ड होता है, किसी को पता नहीं चले कि आपने किसको बटन दबाया. दैट्स सीक्रेट बैलेट. ठीक है, what is the answer? वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के इलेक्शन के लिए कौन वोट कर सकते हैं? ऑल मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट इज द राइट आंसर. ये वाला जो ये प्रेसिडेंट के इलेक्शन के लिए होता है, इलेक्टेड MLAs एंड इलेक्टेड MPs. प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन के लिए जो इलेक्टोरल कॉलेज होता है ये होता है. ठीक है, और वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के लिए ऑल MPs होता है, वेदर इट इज इलेक्टेड और नॉमिनेटेड. ठीक है, आई विल शो यू. ठीक है, मैं प्रूफ के साथ ही बताता हूं. देखो ये PIB की वेबसाइट है, 2022 वाला जो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्शन लास्ट टाइम जो हो रहा था. So you can see the for Vice President election, the electoral college consists of 233 members of Rajya Sabha and 12 from Rajya Sabha, है ना, तो 245 हो गए, यानी elected और nominated दोनों मिला के 543 elected from Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, ठीक है, तो total 788, यानी all MPs can vote. Yes, and you can see all the electors are MPs and one or everyone has one vote value. Yes, nominated भी vote करते हैं. Please remember it for Vice President election. Elected Rajya Sabha MP and nominated both vote. और यहाँ भी, okay. Second thing, President के election में ऐसा नहीं होता है. In President election, elected MLAs and elected MPs vote. तो और President election में MLAs जो कि state से चुन के आते हैं, they also come and vote. State representative there. But Vice President election में there is no MLAs who can vote. ठीक है? And here not all MPs, only elected MPs can vote. When we are talking about president election, so nominated two or nominated Rajya Sabha MPs cannot vote. So these are small things, but you should know it. बहुत छोटी सी बातें यहीं पे घुमाया जा सकता है. Shruti, we will discuss that when before the examination, 1 or 2 months before the examination, we will discuss days and themes. The first vice president election कब हुआ था? मैंने अभी आपको बता दिया हूँ. We have already discussed it 1952 में. So first vice president, first president, first Lok Sabha, first Rajya Sabha election सब कुछ 52 में हुआ था. This is the right answer. Who was the first Vice President of India? बताइए. In whose memory we celebrate 5th September, sorry, Teachers' Day. Dr. S. Radhakrishna ji. Very good, Krishi Sachdeva, right? Huh? Dr. S. Radhakrishna. 5th September, right? Krishi Sachdeva, right? Huh? Name the person who has served as CGI, Vice President and Acting President also. ये बताओ. Sir, take a class and climate in convention. AB, आप जाके YouTube पे सर्च करना. Important Environment Summit Career Launcher Law Entrance. ये सर्च करना YouTube पे. You will get a dark green color thumbnail. Watch that class. उसमें I have discussed it last year. मैंने बनाया था वीडियो. Yes, Justice Hidayatullah. Very good, Chandrika. हाँ. तो उसमें हम लोग आते हैं. So first Vice President Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. He later on became the President of India. तो ये President का है ना. So राजेंद्र प्रसाद को ये जाके बाद में President बन जाते हैं. ठीक है? The second Vice President Zakir Hussain. He also later on became the President. ठीक है? ये भी President बन जाते हैं. So third Vice President is V.V. Giri. He is the third Vice President. He also later on becomes the President. देख रहे हो? तीन. So initial 3 Vice President later on became President. है ना? First ये गए यहाँ बन गए. जाकिर हुसैन साहब नीचे गए यहाँ बन गए. है ना? फिर V.V. गिरी साहब गए. फिर और नीचे जाके देखो यहाँ पे बन गए. So 3 Vice Presidents है ना? फिर B.D. Ghat. बहुत सारे लोग रहते हैं. उसके बाद आप देख सकते हो. मोहम्मद हिदायतुल्लाह special because he was the Chief Justice of India. ठीक है? And Vice President. And during his tenure, the President had died, so he had served as acting President also. ठीक है? So that's why. So Chief Justice of India, Vice President, as well as acting President. तो 3 पोस्ट दिया था उन्होंने. R. Venkataraman, he also resigned to fight an election, है ना? Shankar Dayal Sharma, here it is. I think ये भी बाद में President बने थे, if I'm not wrong. हाँ, यहाँ से देखोगे नीचे जाओगे, ये वाला Shankar Dayal Sharma. K.R. Narayan, first Dalit President. ये क्वेश्चन है PYQ CLAT का, है ना? So Mr. Ramnath Kovind was the second Dalit President. The first one was K.R. Narayanan. कृष्ण कांत है ना पंजाब से. के.आर. नारायणन भी हाँ देखो प्रेसिडेंट बन गए थे बाद. So these are the things. Bharan Singh Shekhawat was also the vice president when Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam was the president at that time. ये वाला हिस्सा जो president का है ना, that is what we are talking. Then Muhammad Hamid Ansari, he had earlier served as foreign service officer. He had served from 2007 to 12 vice president. Then Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu, ये पुराना पूछते हैं निकाल के. They ask old ones. That's why I'm discussing 2007 to 2022. Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu. और 2022 के बाद Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar. Okay. So August 2022 to July 2025. So basically it was 2 years, 344 days. Okay. That's what you should know. So this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.